Very good evening, it's Zimbabwe. This is Studio 7 Live Talk, the Women's RoundTable. I'm Marvelous Mhlanganya. We are broadcasting from my home in Washington, D.C. This Thursday, June the 10th, 2021, due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
And I'm Thandekile Mhlanga. Today in our program, we'll be looking at issues concerning women, starting with COVID-19, which is impacting on every body in the country and in the world. With the Minister of Health saying as of 9 June 2021, 39,432 cases have been recorded to date since the outbreak of the virus last year, with 36,917 recoveries and 1,622 deaths.
And also, when we look at the number of COVID-19 vaccines that have actually been administered in the country, currently the Ministry of Health say that they have given the COVID-19 vaccine to 689,920 people who have been vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus. And they're also saying that for them to reach herd immunity, they need to vaccinate over 10 million people in the country. And there's also been currently news that some of the vaccines are not in good supply at the moment, but we heard the Ministry of Information coming out and saying that they are sourcing some vaccines that are expected to be coming in next week.
Yes, and we saw that the ministry says it received 25,000. Yes, some may say the number is less of vaccines from China yesterday. And we saw that the Minister of Health is also acknowledging that cases of COVID-19 are rising again in the country, with 111 reported yesterday and also 5 deaths. And besides the COVID-19, we'll also be looking at the projects which some women are doing in the country and abroad, which assist them in their day-to-day lives, as we see that many lives have been impacted by COVID-19.
Not forgetting, Thandekile, that we'll also be looking at the demolitions currently happening in the country. And we also, right now, actually, I have the wife of Mr. Mayenga Hama, who was recently let out of prison, and she is at a place where her network is not very good. So I'm quickly going to take her so we can hear her story and then come back to our main program. Makabiya Mayenga Hama. Ehe, mo taurisa mbijana taura yenyu kwamuri ko kwakadi kwamuri. Hello. Hello, Mai Mayenga Hama, muri kutsinzwa ere? Hello.
Hello.
Ehe, titaurewo starenyu uyezve nekwamuri pari zvino.
Neitwa Georgina Mayenga Hama from Glenview, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Ehe. Mai Mayenga Hama, tinoona kuti murume wenyu akabva kubva musungwa mazuva apfuura aya. Mukatitaura kuti makanzwa sei pamakanzwa kuti akange aregererwa kwemakore anokwana iwo 8?
Ndichitanga kunzwa news idzi ndakaita kunge confusion chaiyo, kutadza kuziva kuti ndiri kunyatsonzwa chaizvo kana kuti ndakanganisa kunzwa. It was a shock to me.
Zvamira zvakadaro, vana vakatambira sei nawi?
Musi wekutanga tichivaudza havana kundibhiliva, because ndaigara kuti baba vachabuda very soon, saka usuni hwacho hunge vasaunzwisise kuti suni yamama vanenge vachingotinyepera kuti dhedhi vachauya. Saka pavakangoti ndikati until vazoona ndasvika navo pamba, and they were surprised.
Saka zvazvakandezvipi zvamaisangana nazvo panguva iyo vakange vari muusungwa, zvamungati matambudziko amungati vamwewo madzimai vane varume vavo vari muusungwa vangadzidze kubva kwamuri?
Matambudziko dzekutsanangura anosanganikana nawo kana munhu uine murume ari muusungwa. Society inonetsa kukugamuchira kazhinji kacho. Social life yako inochinja. Shamwari chaidzo dzaunotamba nadzo dzinenge dzatochinja. Une nzvimbo dzaunenge wakutarisirwa kuti idzi handifanenge ndiripo. Nekuda kwokuti iwe unenge a single parent ende vanhu vakakuona, vamwe vanenge vachida kukunzwira tsitsi, vamwe ndivo vanenge vachiti asi murume uyo akazviitirei. Saka mukadzi uyu arotobvuma kuti ane murume mhondi. Saka iwe before kuti nzvimbo dzakawanda unenge usasade kuenda. Dzimwe dzinotarisirwa kuti unge uripo semunhu wemudzimai. Saka uyu end up so selective even pashamwari.
Saka mungati imi chakanyanya kukusimbisa ichi panguva iyi?
Ini chakanyanya kundisimbisa kunyanya. 1, church. 2, my friends. Ndakaziva vanhu kutamba nawo. Shamwaridzana nevezera rangu vazhinji vacho, but ndakanga chakandirera kunge ndichishamwaridzana nevanhu vechikuru vabva zera like vatinoti ana gogo vaya. Ivo vaindisimbisa.
Aiwa, mashoko makukutu. Uyezve ndoziva kuti nhare yenyu iri kumboenda ichidzoka, saka motipa mazwi enyu ekupedzisira zvenyu. Kana muchikwanisa kutaura nechirungu momboti dee nechirungu tisati tobva takuregedzai henyu tozotaura nemi munguva inotevera.
It's okay. My encouraging words to other fellow women, they need to be strong. They should focus on Jesus. They need to take care of their children. They should stay away from your things.
So now that now that your husband is back, what is the first meal that you cooked him when he got back? What did he want to eat?
Sadza. Vegetable.
Sadza and vegetable.
Yeah.
Okay, were those his favorite foods before, or this is a new kind of favorite now?
His favorite food.
Okay. No, we'll catch up with you much later on because I know your phone is not very clear at the moment, but thank you so much for your time.
You're much welcome.
Bye-bye. We were hearing this stuff from Amai Mainge Hama, whose husband just got released from prison. So we caught up with her, but unfortunately her line, because of WhatsApp, it had challenges, but we'll try and catch up with her again next time. But I know that you have Mai Barbara Tanyanyiwa, who also was saying, she's running against time. So I think you can give her a chance to come into the program and also share with us some of the things, that are happening to women within her party, I think.
Yes, Mav. Can you hear us, Ms. Tanyanyiwa?
Yes, I can.
Yes, you missed. We had the wife of Mr. Last Mainga Hama on the show here. She was talking about her husband and how she felt when he was in prison and what she did when he came back. We see that they were released recently. Some have been united with Mr. Mainga Hama has been reunited with his family, but it wasn't the same for Mr. Matsoko. What can you say about the incarceration of those two and the impact it has had on their families?
Okay, thank you so much, Standegile. Firstly, I would want to air my disappointment to this government for incarcerating Last and Tunga for the crimes they did not commit 10 years down the line. It's very unfortunate, Standegile, and it's very painful to rot in jail knowing that you did not commit that crime. And what what the government is doing to the opposition, it's not fair. They are abusing the constitution, they are abusing their powers. We've seen they are not the only ones. They are doing it to almost everyone who is opposing them, to almost every voice of dissent. We saw it to Hopewell, and we did it. Hopewell was discharged. He did not commit that crime. And back to Tunga and last, yes, it's good for last that they are still together with the wife. We say congratulations to this wife. She's brave, it's very difficult. It's like we're just waiting for something that you don't know. Standing that is it coming or is it coming alive? We know people died in jails. So I would like to say kudos to last's wife. Not many women can do this. And as for Tunga, it's very unfortunate, it pained me to say Wes, he did not even know that the wife was not there, and the relatives were saying we could not tell him whilst he was in jail because they feared it was going to disturb him. And the relatives didn't know that he was going to be released soon, I think. So it pains. Imagine if it happened to you or to your brother standing here to say you get out of jail, you are happy, I'm going home, I'm going to meet my wife, I'm going to meet my children, and you find the house is just deserted.
Yes, yeah. Yes, siyawezwa amazwi akho nje ungasichasela ngesindebele ukuthi ungathini ngokwehlela imuli yalabo kade bebotshiwe khonokho nje kuke wakuchasisa.
Ngiyabonga sithandekile kokuqala ngifuna ukutshengisa ukudana okukhulu kulokho kwenzakala kulast loTunga lanxa beqinile. Mina I'm not celebrating ngoba babe ngamelanga babotshwe ngoba baphuma batholakala ukuthi kabalacala. Ulast ungcono ngoba wathi efika endlini wathola umkakhe khona emlindele. Kodwa into ayenzakala kuTunga ibuhlungu sithandekile ukuthi yena enjalo ephuma ejele wayecabangela ukuthi uzathola imuli yakhe ikhona endlini, kodwa wathola kungenjalo. Umkakhe wathola kuyikuthi usele 8 months ehambile, and izihlobo zakhe zazingamtshelanga ngoba babesithi nabo babesesaba ukuthi bamtshele ukuthi kungamphambanisa njengoba wayesejele. Ngakho kubuhlungu sithandekile, mina ngizwa ubuhlungu njengami kwami ngizwa ubuhlungu. Yikho okwenzakalayo kuhulumende wethu lo kafuni bantu abampikisayo. Ulast loTunga kabazange bebulala ipholisa, and then from the beginning babekhuluma ukuthi asimbulalanga, kodwa ngenxa ukuthi ngabantu abavela ku-opposition uhulumende kafuni umuntu ompikisayo. I-constitution yethu eZimbabwe kayilandelwa. Uhulumende okhona uya-abuse i-constitution, uya-abuse ama-powers ayo. Nxa uthi bababusayo bazenzela umathanda, ungakhuluma kubi uyabotshwa. Njengoba sekubonile ukwenzakala eshilo i-officer lona okuthiwa usibotshiwe ukuthi ukuthethisa umnankagwa asikwazi ukuthethisa ezithi yikho khona kanti kodwa kwamanye amazwe i-freedom of speech in the freedom of association iyavunyelwa. Sibonile eFrance upresident watshaya impama phakathi komphakathi ukutshengisa ukuthi abantu bakhululekile lanxa kungongo, kodwa bakusitshengisa ukuthi umuntu lwana waye-free ku-expressa. Yikho ayekuzwa ngesikhathi sonesana ukuthi ngifuna ukutshaya impama umuntu lo lanxa kungongo. Angithi but eZimbabwe konke khonokho akukho sithandekile. Uhulumende wethu kafuni umuntu amphikisa. Ngakho kubuhlungu nje kakhulu indaba kalast ekaTunga ibuhlungu kakhulu.
Yes, but we have heard the government saying police will be executing their duties. It's up to the courts to decide what's going on, and they have no direct, impact on what happens at the courts. Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe that, because in Zimbabwe, there are no separation of powers standing. This is what we've been seeing all along. There are no separate powers. The judiciary, the legislature, in the executive, they're supposed to be three different arms of the government. But we are not seeing that. The judiciary is captured, the legislature is captured, the executive is abusing its powers. So the police, they will be acting, they are told what to do by the government, even if they know that what they are doing is wrong. But because they'll be acting on orders, those people we know they act on orders are standing. If they are told to jump, they don't ask how high, they just jump. So they'll be acting on orders. The judiciary have always said it's captured. So the judiciary will also be acting on orders from the executive. The executive determines everything in Zimbabwe, and it's very unfortunate.
Yes, previously we heard ZANU-PF spokesman Simon Kayamoyo saying that his party, ZANU-PF, which is the ruling party, has nothing to do with the harassment of opposition party members, because they had complained that they are always being, arrested and jailed, arbitrarily. But ZANU-PF and the police, the government has dismissed those claims. We see that we have seen these days that the women's branches are campaigning for the elections. We saw that throughout the country. How are they going through with their programs? Are they being harassed, or they are now able to gather and do whatever they want without arrests on charges that they are breaching the COVID-19?
Thank you so much, Stanley. First of all, I would want to pose a question to say, do you believe what Simon Kaya says? Who doesn't know how the government operates? The government is scared of its people. And now they are saying they got nothing to do with Tunga and last, yet they know it very well. It was a way of silencing them. And I'm happy that the two guys, when they came out, they said they are going ahead with the struggle, and they admitted that it's part of the struggle. Every struggle has got its own casualties. These are the casualties of the struggle. They are determining to go. The women, they have activities that are going around in the country. Very soon, they are going to launch their 1 million women for Chabisa, where they are campaigning for new voters, women voters that are going to vote for MDC Alliance. And they had an activity in Domboshawa on the 5th, whereby they were commemorating the World Environment Day, and there were some women who were arrested, despite the fact that they had a clearance from the police. They were arrested, but later released. What does this show us? It shows us that we are still in bondage. They are hiding on COVID-19, but we know exactly what is happening. We don't want the opposition to keep.
Yes, and you said you won't be.
Day-to-day activity.
You said you won't be staying with us much longer. How many more minutes do you have? And what's your last word? Yona ngokuthi abesifazana be-MDC bayenzana ukukhankasela ukhetho njalo bazaphuma yini ngobuningi ukuzovota abesifazana?
Yeah, bengisatsho ukuthi khona Sandekile omama be-MDC Alliance balenhlelo eziningi kakhulu ezokukhankasela ukuthi abantu bayeregister ukuthi bavote. Very soon bazalauncha iprogram ye-1 million campaign lapha bazabe campaignela ukuthi bedonse omama abatsha abangakaze beregister labangazake bevote ukuthi bavotele i-MDC Alliance. Ngakho bengisakhuluma ukuthi khona asikakhululeke eZimbabwe mhla ka-5 omama babotshwa kodwa baphinda bareleaswa besenza i-World Environment Day eLomboshawa bezama ukuthi bathanyele indawo eLomboshawa ibe clean kodwa akuzange kwenzakala i-government icatsha nge-COVID kodwa sibona abantu bezana nxa kuyikuthi bayabuthana kodwa i-COVID yakhona into esimangalisayo ukuthi i-affecta abantu be-opposite kuphela uZANU-PF akula-COVID ngoba bayabuthana ini isikhathi lanxa bebantu ganani bayabuthana but asayisizo kuthiwa abaharasiwe kumbe babotshiwe ngiyabonga sithandekile isikhathi sami sesendliwe
Yes, it was really such
maybe before she goes, if she can just say something in Shona. I know she speaks Shona. Just 30 seconds about what she just said in the web.
Yeah, ungahambi-ke uyezwa Mrs. Tanyanya ukuthi ungakhuluma nje. Konke osokukhulumile ngamafitshane ngesishona. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, ungafocus kubo mama laba abafuna.
Bakunezwa bayitika kunana thunga na last thina urombo ngezvakaitika hurumende ine chekuinternational zvakaitika izvo kuti vanongosungwa pasi vasina mhosva asi zvinorwadza zvikuru ngezvatunga akasvika mudzimai wake aenda asingazvizivi ende hama dzake dzakatadza kuti timuudze nekuti kaitya kubva ari mujere zvinogona kukanganisa saka zvinhu zvinorwadza zvikuru. $1 million wekuti vavhotere MDC Alliance matsva vasati vavhota €3 asi tiri kuti pakuita izvozvo takaona government vachivashunguru vaenda kunotsvaga vaenda environmental day kuLomboshawa nekuti pane vakadzi vakatusunga asi vakazokovirizwa zvomwe but tiri kuti government iri kuwanda nekuti kushunguridza vanhu veMDC asi COVID yachona inongotadzwa kana vari MDC yakaungana kana vari ZANU hakuna kuti angotora nezvipo saka zvinhu zvinotirwadza sikuri kuti madzimai
aiwa for tanga tiri kunzwa kubva kuna mai Barbara Tanyanyiwa veMDC Alliance asi tichaedza kuti tinzwewo yatingati divi reZANU-PF panyaya iyoyi nemamwewo mapato anopikisa star.
Yes, that was Barbara Tanyanyiwa, spokesperson for the MDC Alliance Women's Assembly National. Usesichile-ke inuthe kasoza azuza isikhathi sokuthi aqhubeke elathi ngoba kumele kukhona okunye okuphuthumayo. Yebo-ke kulabo abasanda ukusixhuma kathesi sicubungula-ke okuningi okuphathelane le-COVID-19. Lapho-ke unkosazana singafiki-ke ku-COVID-19 unkosazana Tanyanyiwa-ke simbonile ekhuluma kulandela ukukhuluma kukankosikazi kaMnumzana Last Mayengahama owe-MDC wababebotshiwe bahlala entolongweni okweminyaka 10 kodwa batholakala bengalacala abasanda ukukhululwa. Sezwa-ke ukuthi uMnumzana Mayengahama wafica-ke unkosikazi wakhe labantwana bekhona bamamukela kodwa uMnumzana Tungamirayi Matsokerelena wathi hayi wafica endlini sokuchaya ibhungane nje eseyimukile unkosikazi wakhe njalo babe sesaba ukumtshela esejele ukuthi hayi unkosikazi usehambile besesaba ukuthi uzamkhathaza kakhulu khona vele ejele kuvele kuhlukuluza ngakho bamfihlela-ke ukuthi kulesehlakalo esinjalo besekhuluma-ke lentatheli izindaba ezitshela ukuthi wamdabula umoya kodwa kwamgcona unkosikazi wakhe ngokuhamba ngoba kulukhuni wayenguntombazana nje usakhulayo kulukhuni ukuhlala engalamyeni wakhe. Yikho-ke lapha bede sisizwa bekhuluma ngakho njalo lokuthi konke lokho kubotshwa nguphatha njani abesifazana. Lanxa-ke unkosikazi Tanyanyiwa ekhulumile ukuthi ibandla leZANU-PF lohulumende weZANU-PF bahlukuluza abamabandla aphikisayo. Siyake sizwe ibandla leZANU-PF, siyake sizwe isikhulumeli uMnumzana Simon Khamo esithi hayi bona abahlukuluzi abantu ngoba abantu bona amapholisa yiwo abeqhuba umsebenzi kodwa inuthi hayi nxa kungabe MDC kuyathiwa bephula iziqondiso COVID-19 kodwa beZANU-PF abezephuli kodwa esake sikhulume labo lapha beZANU-PF sake sakhuluma lo mnumzana Joseph Chume sithi labo bake bechithachithwe kumbe balelwe imvumo yokuthi behlangane ke becubungula ukuphathelane lokwebandla kumbe lani ngoba kuthiwa akumele beqhelelane bengasondelelani ukuze kumemetheke igcikwane le-COVID-19. Yebo ke sikhuluma ngalo ke leli gcikwane kuthiwa selimemetheka khona elizweni njalo izolo kodwa nje lokho kube labantu abedlula 111 labulala abangu-5. Uhulumeni uthi asekhuphuka amanani abantu abahlaselwa yileli gcikwane. Sibona njalo ukuthi asebemukele umjovo we-COVID-19 sebesedlula phela amakhulu azinkulungwane eziyisithupha 689,920. Kukanti ke wona vele bonke asebantu asebathola igcikwane ke elizweni lonke selokhu laqhamukayo leli gcikwane ngomnyaka odluleyo sebefika phose amachumi inkulungwane ezingamachumi amane 39,432 kodwa sikuthi yibo bonke laba balawo abangu 36,917 sebasila okutsho ukuthi nje badlula inkulungwane ezimbili kancinyane abalalo luhlupho. Over to you, Margaret.
Apo tanga tiri kunzwa mumwe wedu Standakile anga ari kutaura iye zviri kuitika panyaya 19 vanga vachitaurawo zvakare pamusoro pezvavari kuti ivo zviri kuitika mune dzimwe nzvimbo patiri kuona kuti mamiriro akaita denda iri reCOVID-19 ari kuramba achikwira pari zvino uyezve tinoona kuti guta reKwekwe pari zvino takaona gurukota rezvekufambiswa kwemashoko vachizivisa ivo kuti pari zvino nzvimbo yeKwekwe ichaenderera mberi iri mulockdown sezvo vari kutyira kuti pangangove paine variant iye inobva kuIndia. So Star was just giving us an update on the current COVID-19 situation in the country, not forgetting that we saw the Ministry of Health coming up and informing the public that they will continue the lockdown in Kwekwe because, as they said, the variant that is actually coming, that was detected in Kwekwe. I'll read what the Minister of Information and Publicity said. We saw the Mai Muchangwa said the cabinet has approved that the lockdown in Kwekwe be extended by a further 2 weeks. This comes in the wake of a surge in positive cases in the city. The Indian variant has been detected in some of the new cases. So this information came courtesy of the Ministry of Health. This must have been their Twitter page. So apa tiri kuona isu zvanga zviri kutaurwa nezvegurukota rekufambiswa kwemashoko amai Monica Muchangwa vachitaura ivo vachitsinhira kuti ivo nemamwe makurukota emukabineti vakange vati ivo vapa chisungo chekuti kuvharwa kweguta reKwekwe kuenderere mberi sezvo vanga vari kuti ivo nyaya yedenda reCOVID-19 munzvimbo iyi uyezve vachitaura kuti denda iro rinobva kuIndia yavanoti Indian variant rakange raonekwa munzvimbo iyoyi pane avo vanga vari kubata denda iri reCOVID-19 imomo munzvimbo yeKwekwe. Saka vakaona zvakakodzera kuti vaenderere mberi vachiwanikwa vachiita kuti guta iri reKwekwe rirambe rakavharwa. Saka ndo zvinhu zvanga zviri kuitika iro svondo rino. Uyezve tinoona kuti imwe nyaya huru iri kunetsa vazhinji inyaya yekuputswa kwedzimba. Takaona isu guta reHarare uyezve nerechituriza vachiti ivo vari kuwanikwa vachiputsa dzimba idzi sezvo zvimwe zvivakwa zvisina kuvakwa panokodzera. Saka tichamboridza vhidhiyo tichiona isu zvanga zviri kuitika kune dzimwe nzvimbo iko takaona isu dzimba dzichiwanikwa dzichiputswa munzvimbo dzakadai sekubudiriro nguva yapfuura kuzvikuHarare apo tiri kuona zvakanga zviri kuitika uyezve zvichiri kuenderera mberi asi tinonzwa kuti nyaya iyi yakwidzwa kumatare edzimhosva. Tambotaura naamai Alice Diana vanobva ivo kuvheya vekuchitungiza Residents Trust Association vachiti ivo nyaya iyi yanga itori iyo kumatare muzuva ranhasi kuti kumiswa kwezvivakwa izvi kumbomira. Asi regai tinzwe hurukuro yakaitwa neStudio 7 navatafadzwa muguti vachitaura ivo kuti zvakamira sei. Ava ndivo mukuru anoona nezvekufambiswa kwemabasa muHarare nemunzvimbo dzakatenderedza Harare. Vakaita ivo hurukuro nemutori wedu wenhau.
Munyika muno vari kurarama nemibato yamaoko avo, kutengesa madomasi, kutengesa miriwo, vari kurarama nokutengesa zvavanoveza masofa, macheya nezvimwe zvakasiyana siyana. Vanotengesa nhumbi nyangwe dziri sharu, asi ndo dzinogonekwa navanhu, ende vanhu vari kudzitenga kuti vanhu vaone kurarama. No kuHarare nekuchitungiza kune murume anonzi Muguti ari kutuma mapurisa nevamwe vanhu vehurumende kunopaza misika yavanhu, kunodotora madomasi avanhu avari kutengesa nemiriwo yavo, zvichiita kuti vanhu vabve vashaya rarama. Izvi zvinonyadzisa.
Ko sei muchidaro vadzidzai, nekuti hurumende kairi kuti haingaregedze vanhu vachiita madiro aJoργina vachivaka musika pose pose, vamwe pedyo pedyo nemigwagwa?
Tinonyatsoziva kuti ruzhinji rwese ruri kurarama imomo muformal economy. Saka pachinhambo chokuti tiswere tichirwisa vanhu vanoshayiwa varombo, tinofanira kuisa mapurogiramu okurwisa urombo.
Ende api api?
Mapurogiramu okugadzirisa panotengeserwa navanhu, mapurogiramu okugadzirisa kuisa sanitation infrastructure panotengesera vanhu, uyewo vanhu varipo kunotengesa, kwete nokuti ndo sarudzo yavo. Vanhu vanoda mabasa hakuna, vanhu vanoda kunoshandawo kumaindastri ose akazara.
Aiwa, apo tanga tiri kunzwa kubva kuna vaseso zvedzai, asi regai tinzwe kuti
vanhu vazhinji munyika muno vari kurarama
kuti zvii zviri kuitika.
Vanhu vari kudzitenga kuti vanhu vaone kurarama. No kuHarare nekuchitungiza kune murume anonzi Muguti ari kutuma mapurisa.
Aiwa, audio iyi ndeyavazvizvai, asi tichaunza zvakare vaMuguti ava tinzwewo kuti ivo vari kuti chii nenyaya iyi iri kutaurwa, nekuti vazhinji vari kuti ivo havasi kufara nemamiriro akaita zvinhu nyanya panyaya iyoyi yekuti vanhu vari kuputsirwa dzimba, nekuti vamwe vari kutoti ivo vanenge vaine mapepa avo ekuti vakatenga nzvimbo idzodzi dzekuvakira. Tonzwa zvakare pane mumwe musangano wakaitwa iwo nezuro kunzvimbo yeNorton, uko takaonawo kune vatingati gurukota rezvedzimba vachitaurawo pamusangano iwoyu pamusoro pezvivakwa zvavari kuti zvichavakwa kuNorton, uyezve vachiti ivo vanhu havazowanikwa vachiputsirwa dzimba dzavo. Regai tinzwe kuti vakati chii.
vanouya vaya vachitaparidza here shoko risingazivisisiki, hatisi kudairo ndiri mataura mega kuti 2023 5 million votes iipe 5 million minimum number, Zimbabwe ine 14 million vanhu, pa14 million vanhu zvirikuda 10 million zvakabva munanga 5 million zvekuti kana mazorara nezamukano tongobata 5 million ndonge tarara nezamukano. Asi tikaita zvatingadzidziswa negwara remusangano ratiita kuti tiuye pano tironge zvatiri kuronga izvi, ndinoona tibudirira. Pane ari kuvhunza uyo anenge anopenga ari kutaura zvemusangano iye ari kuhurumende. Hurumende mwana wazvarwa nemusangano. Vanogaita mumaelection demonstration ndachitaura ikarakata vanhu. Payakarakata vanhu yakagati vamunanga vachiumbai hurumende, kana maumba hurumende mochigadzirisa mapurogiramu ese nemapurogiramu ari munyika aya. Tiri vana vemusangano, tinopuwa mitemo nemusangano. Tine chirongwa chatiri kumhanya nacho, tiri kuminisita nematoileti nekumwa.
We're hearing there from the Ministry of Housing, Daniel Garwe. He was speaking at a project that they launched yesterday in Rua, and he was saying that for that project, he's saying that he is doing it on behalf of ZANU-PF, and it looks like one of the campaigning has already started for the election. So he was explaining to those that came to that meeting in Rua yesterday that as for him, although he's a government minister, he is still a ZANU-PF member. So we had brought this up in the wake of what we're seeing, the demolitions that have been occurring in Harare and Chitungwiza, and how people have been out there, saying the government should step in and do something. So we saw the Ministry of Housing actually coming in and saying they're launching a housing program in Rua. They launched it yesterday, and he assured the residents there that that housing project will not be demolished. So we'll watch and see what happens. Let's start.
Yeah, well, okay, marvelous. Whilst we are still waiting for our other guests to say she will join us shortly, Deborah Mukasa, watch out for her. Sizwa ke lapho ukuthi kulolunye udaba njalo soluthinte kubi imindeni yabantu eChitungwiza le Harare, lapho abantu abadilizelwa khona impahla zabo, izindlu zabo belahlekelwe izimpahla. Abanye bathi hayi lokhu phela sokufanana lomrambathwina, kungani abantu bephathwa njalo, abantu abayekelwe lezakhiwo zabo. Sibonile njalo ukuthi abanye udaba lolu solwakhwezwa emthethwandaba ngoba abantu besithi awulunganga ukuthi kwakhiwe, kodwa yona ikhansili yalelo dolobho ithi abantu abalandelanga imithetho lapho kusakhiwa. Phela kule mithetho leyi eyamakhansili okuthiwa ngama-bylaws okumele abantu beyalandela, sikukuthi umuntu engakha ingqeko ngaphi lapha afuna ukwakha khona. Yilo-ke olunye udaba lolu oluhluphayo osoluthwalise abantu amagabha avuzayo. Yebo-ke okwakhathesi-ke silindele ukuthi unkosazana-ke Deborah Mukasa asixhase lapha kuhlelo lwethu, kodwa lokho singamboni lapha, ngcono simchayele-ke ucingo sizwe ukuthi yena kuhamba njani, kumbe yenelisa yini kusixhasa kumbe kenelisi. Uzasitshela-ke yena ukuthi uhamba njani. Hello, yebo-ke lapha-ke sesilo nkosikazi Deborah Mukasa, uyenelisa yini ukungena kuhlelo? Kodwa uyasizwa? Thina kodwa sikubone, kodwa awuboni lutho, i-camera yakho i-on.
Ikamera yami on bengizibona.
Uyazibona? Hawu, kathi manje kungani singenelisi? Hayi sithemba uzangena-ke kathesi, ungabona usungenile-ke ngizalahla ucingo lwakho.
Star, I can see her, but her camera is not on, so carry on and speak to her on the phone.
Okay, but I think so her audio can work too online, right? Yebo-ke ungakhuluma-ke nkosikazi Deborah Mukasa, anti uyasizwa? No, I think I've lost her. Let me try and get back to her. I wonder what the problem could be, or she could try and log in again.
Yes, we were trying there to get Barbara Mukasa, who's actually the head of Vendors Association in Bulawayo. But as you know, technology works like that. I know she's trying to log in, but we can't see her. She hopefully, will be able to communicate with her. But I can see that she's logged in, but we can't see her. But anyway, we're carrying on and just looking at some of the issues that are facing women during this COVID-19. We had there most women, especially in Chitungwiza. We had earlier on a conversation with Alice Diana Kuvea of the Chitungwiza Residents Association, saying that most women were really affected by this, what we say, the demolitions, because most of them were actually vendors who were vending in areas that were demolished. And she said that they've actually taken the Chitungwiza Council to the courts. So we will be trying to also hear back from her on what the outcome was of the court ruling. But this is an issue that is troubling a lot of organizations during this time of COVID. But let me bring Star up again and see if she's been able to get my Deborah. Have you been able to get her?
Yebo-ke ungasichasisela ukuthi khona ngapho-ke edolobheni lako Bulawayo lapho ukuthi lingathi amapholisa angabe ebambe abantu ngesandla esilukhuni yini kumbe bekufanele?
Okay, ngiyabonga umphathi wohlelo. Ngiyalizwa?
Uyazwakala, ungaqhubeka, uzwakala ucacile.
Okay. Indaba le yamakhombi ngibona ngathi amapholisa asebambe abanikazi bamakhombi, even nama-drivers, even nama-taxi ngesandla esibukhulu. Phambilini sike sakhuluma thina njenge-Bulawayo Vendors and Traders Association ekhangele i-informal sector yonke, whether we-driver kumbe we-cross border kumbe uyapheka uyathunga, ukuthi kakube lama-policies akhangelayo asebenzayo eZimbabwe. Ukhanya ngathi ama-policies akhona la imithetho ekhona eyafakwayo kudala ngohulumende ngama-policies vele angekho free. Ama-policies lana akudala abantu ababesazibhikeke kuseselabo-BATA, kuseselabo-GND, kuseselabo-railways. Ama-policies lawo kakhangeli kakhulu ukuthi sesitshintshile, impilo esesiphila kiyo isintshintshile, abantu kabalamsebenzi, abantu badinga ukudla very day, food on the table. Ukuthi kufuze uhulumende etshintshe ama-policies ebeyiwona lana akhangelayo both angles, ukuthi yona i-government iyathola yini inzuzo at the end of the day onjenge-tax, ukuzokuthi labo abantu ngapha bayathola yini i-food on the table. So nendlela ephathwe ngayo ngamapholisa mina hayi ayingithandisanga kakhulu, ukuthi bonke it takes two to dance, it takes two to tango. So lapha vele amapholisa adense ngendlela engayisiyo, labo abona labo bamakhombi labo badense ngendlela engayisiyo, but kuyukuthi balendlala i-government iyaphuza uku-reacta ezintweni ezinjengazona lezi, ukuthi khangele ukuthi abantu bona ngoba baphila njani. Ngananzelela uzupho, yes, of course ukhona, but amabhasi zakhona malutshwana. Isevisi yakhona ifuna vele ingaphathi kuhle abantu. That's why usosuka nalawo ama-combis akhona, and ama-combis lawa vele ekuqaliseni ezevali ayevele ethelile, evele elelungelo labo lokuthi bengene emgwaqweni, baphinde ukukhulunywa nje. Akuzange kube ne-consultation yokuthi hhayi sukusela ngesikhathi esingaka izabe selilokhu seliqunyiwe, be-prepare for impilo yabo, but abaphiwa ngaleso sikhathi.
Yes, siyabona njalo ukuthi amapholisa wona ayagcona kakhulu abachayeli bamakhombi laba bathi batshintshe imali ngokungekho emthethweni, yibo ke kade bebaqophile. Njalo abanye bebesithi bakhala ngokuthi kuvele kulezigebengu ezihlobileyo ezibamba abantu inkunzi khonapha edolobheni lakoBulawayo. Ngingathi ngabe amapholisa gijimisa kakhulu labo yini, ngoba lalaba bathi bayiphula umthetho phela abangasebenza ngokungekho emthethweni.
Ukuthi uhlupho sistill i-problem ukuthi kunjani i-government yethu iyakhuluma kakhulu but inga-act. Singakhangela osiphatheleni, for example, bake bagijimisa ngalesinye isikhathi, but khathesi ipholisi futhi yezimali leyo ebuyileyo ukuthi abantu abasavunyelwa ukuthi bethenge nge-US dollar kumbe ngerandi ezitolo. I-rate yakhona isiphansi, silokho i-rate lena egazetted, whereas ngapha osiphatheleni sebesibabaningi ufanele ukuthi uyajungela okay u-20 randi lakho kumbe u-20 lokuze i-US dollar behle bekugama. So i-government iyabulala enye sector, ipromote enye sector. Okwakhathesi isipromotile osiphatheleni, and osiphatheleni bakhona abaningi, to tell the truth, ungananzelela ungalandelela impilo yabo, i-history yabo, uzathola ukuthi ngomama vele baphekela bona amapholisa. Ngomama sibele obaba ngomama bebezimuli ngabamapholisa. So ufind ukuthi vele ukusebenza kwethu eZimbabwe laphana sokusiya ngokuthi vele khathesi kudingiswa ipitshuni. Bengabona bona amapholisa sebethagetile, I will say that angazi nxa ngizagijinyiswa ngazi, sebethagetile imali yabo abayifunayo, sebetshintsha, sebesiyangena kwenye position. Okwakhathesi benganawo lokhuze sebekhuthaza osiphatheleni bona labo ukuthi bebe on the ground. Sizosikhuluma ngakhona lokho okwamajova, benza khuluma ukuthi izupho kayenelisi, yazi ukuthi singananzelela izupho is at risk. Siyagada izupho lana sigcwale pamwe phakathi besisikwashi njengama-potatoes akusanithayizwa akuyenzwani namabhasi angkhona mina zake ngabona evumetethu njengokuba phela kwathi ukukhulula kwathi ifomasi ingahlalahlala kumele ifumudethe izindawo zakhe but izuphangaze ngiyibona ukuthi amabhasi nankana sprayiwe kumbeni sithi singena sathole vele enomnuko omutsha ukuthi kusprayiwe for i-COVID or whatever. So angazi ukuthi vele i-government isebenza njani. Lazi nokuthi nxa itageta vele ukuthi itageti ukuthi iyabe ifunani kahle kahle.
Kodwa bona abathengisayo kathesi amalunga yena asebenza kuhle awaphonga ukubotsha amahlayana nje bayaziphandela.
Abathengisayo kwalezi nsuku kungathi kunganeno ngoba silokho sikhulumisana nge-city council. Angithi ukuthi kuyi-100% balokho begijimisha kodwa abagijimishayo yibona laba kanjani abangakabi lamalungelo abangenama-license abangenalazi indawo zokuthengisela. So silokho sikhulumisana nohulumende wethu siphinde sikhulumisane nama-supervisors like uBulawayo sikhulumisana nokhansila ukuthi ngayi iyadinga phela izindawo. Njengoba ngikhuluma kunje namhlanje besine-tour labo abe-city council nathi thina ama-stakeholders sibona izindawo sekuhamba sibatshenisa ukuthi khayelanini izindawo lezi ezinje highlanders club izindawo ezinjengentumbane le-Sixty sibatshenisa ukuthi khayelanini ukuthi abantu bahlezi njani bathengisa njani. So i-city council ngayizama ukuthi ispeed up idinga izindawo ibangenise ezindaweni okwakhathesi kulokhu kukhona i-cat and mouse lokuzelela leyo ukuthi kuyagijimishana amapholisa e-city council okwakhathesi kawagijimiswa ukuthi bayagijimisa bagijimisa nxa bebona ukuthi vele kawubadisi but kukhona emphakathini ukudizwa kuphela. 2 weeks ago bengikhose kusukela phana ukubona amapholisa uzulu amavende ozosithi lapha sebebuyile kunomgodla ohamba bephiwa izimali bedonate izimali befaka emgodleni bephiwa ngasese. So ubugwelegwele bukhona futhi e-city council ubugwelegwele bukhona nemapholiseni ukuthi nxa lingasaphiwanga ngokuthi babhale lapha lani isivalamlomo kukhanya vele hayi ikho lapho kukhanya zokugijimisha vele lokho kwamakhombisi sure besicela ukuthi ngazi ukuthi i-government iyabona ngelihle libanzi ngoba we are being affected even lathi ama-residents lathi ama-venti wavuke kuseni ugadi usithi ngiyaphenduka endlini ngo-6 but ucina kokutshayela ku-8 ubonona nxa uzafika uphile ufike usulimele bayatshaya ama-window screen bayagijimisa amakhombiyana ukuthi licinga lilimala eliphakathi emgwaqweni. So impilo yethu vele it's at risk because of government.
Maybe Star, if you can just ask her to tell us the same thing in Shona, because I'm not sure if she can hear me.
Ungakhuluma ngesishona ukuthi kusebenza njani khona ngapho abantu abathengisayo basebenza kuhle amapholisa angabe high handed yini sikhangela lokwenzakala izolo ngathi nje in short konke kade sikukhuluma.
Okay, I'll try.
Yes, so we have a picture, marvelous.
Yes, I
do. For now, atisukushanda zvakanaka nemapurisa because ari kutimhanyisa tarisa kuti nemashandiro ari kuita amaprivate taxis machovha aya government ngaite mapolicies anobetsera both madrivers nemahwendi nesu vakwiri vacho vemataxis because hatisukushanda zvakanaka mapurisa ari violent anorova vanahwendi anorova mahwendscreen kana pachirohwa motikari kana kuti madriver chitiza nevanhu vari mukombi vanorovera tinogara takakuvara mumakombisi. So upenyu hwedu hwakabatikana pamusaka pegovernment. Dai hurumende yaona kuti inogadzirisa because makampani hawapo vanhu vari kutoshanda kuti vawane kudya nekuti nayo government iwane mataxes saka ikakomhanyisa vanhu avo haizowani maprofits nesuwo vanhu hatizowani tinozotya kukwira machovha and again zupo yatiri kutemba inotisa parisk because inozadza vanhu mumabhazi and mabhazi acho haisiwe mushonga wokuti tinoti haiwa tinokudzirwa pacovid tinokokwira pakadaro mabhazi acho akasviba, avaagezese, avacleane nemukati, saka it's at risk. Saka vakadivhaida, government ikava nemaprivate ownership, vane motikari dzavo, vopiwa mutemo, mapolicies, vopiwa nekuti vadhiraivha zvakanaka nevanhu vangani, vanhu voshanda navo vowana tax. Government nesuwo tinoforera mberi nelife.
Aiwa, tinotenda, thank you so much. Apo tanga tiri kunzwa kubva kuna Mai Debra Mukasa vachitaura ivo pamusoro pemamiriro akaita nyaya yevanoita kutyaira makombi kubulawayo. Star.
Ekubhothabhoteni kwenu lapha edolobheni lakobulawayo kuyini elikubonileyo-ke lamhlanje okusithi like labhotabhota le-council? Kuyini okunye lixoxe ngakho?
Okay, mina bengekho on the ground, but njengebulawayo Vendors Association ibhodi esingibonile ngathi ngikhangele nje kuma-clips ethu ku-Facebook and whatever. Kuqoqwa kabanzi, kuqoqwa ngakhona lokho ukuthi izindawo zokuthengisela kumele zimentene njani. Ikhansili kumele iqalise ukuthi iyakhele abantu indawo ezi-user free ezokuthi zibe nama-sheds nendawo zokuthi maybe begcinele impahla zabo, ngoba siyananzelela ukuthi every trip, every train ziyathwala from one place to i-working site. Ntambama futhi zithwala. Ekuthwalweni kwazo khonaphana kunezinye impahla ezidamejekayo, kunezinye ezitshontshwayo, kunezinye ezigcina zingasakhangeleki kuhle ngoba zabe zisikwashiwe zinjani. So ikwade okuningi kade behamba bekukhangela nakhona lokho ukuthi kube lama-places aba-identified, ama-vendors identify ezinye izindawo ezibona ukuthi zinjani, zi-empty, so that i-council nayo ingancedisa iqalisa ukuba yathela khonapho izindawo. Kuningi-ke okuqoqiweyo kuyileyo ndawo, i-city council nayo ibabonisa, ibatshengisa lama-maps ukuthi endaweni enje kungaba possible, endaweni enje akupossible ukuthi abantu bethengisele khonapha, considering nokuthi maybe nxa kulezitolo eziliphuzane ezinkulu ezabo, okay, ezinjengabo-TM okuzokuthi bengabi bebanga ama-customers. So ngingathi kuningi I wasn't on the ground, but ngibonile lapho.
Yes, singakhuluma ngesingisi. Last time you said some of the vendors are now using online and other channels instead of going to the streets because of COVID-19. How is the situation now?
So far, our members for PVTA, they are working the relationship with the online local dealers. They are saying it's fine and it's good, although they are having some challenges of maybe data and whatever. And we have got a consultant which we have seasonally, which deals with the ordering or even selling the goods. Those who cook it and they are in it, they are saying it's working for now. But although they've got those minor challenges of maybe data, and maybe if you get someone as a business person, maybe you are selling maybe potatoes, for example, and someone maybe in Chivu or maybe in Harare or even in Cholosho says she or he wants those potatoes. So to get the locals and the products to go there, that's a big challenge. But so far they are having good markets, which they are dealing, especially with this app of season made, which we introduced. And some they are using, of course, on our WhatsApp groups, which is maybe internal. What I mean with internal, I say maybe if you are in the same ward, like maybe I stay in Ward 29 and someone in Ward 29 is selling a product, we can rehearse it, see each other and sell to each other. So that's how
okay.
are doing their businesses.
Okay, and what about the currency, the money? How is it working? We know that there's a new instrument now that is criminalizing, quoting the goods in US dollars. Is it workable now for the vendors to go and buy their products in bulk and sell them and obtain profits?
For now, it's not workable because the rate which is the government is using is not the rate which the vendors are using to sell. You find that most of the products now, they've gone up. We were selling, for example, cooking oil maybe $3.50. So now we are forced to get that small profit. We are forced to sell maybe $4.20 or $4.25. So the rate which is being used as the government gazetted and the rate which we are, negotiating with the customers down, it makes the vendors have some loss instead of profits.
Okay, over to you, Marvelous.
Aiwapo tiri kunzwa kubva kuna amai Debra Mukasa vachitaura ivo matambudziko ari kusangana nevanotengesa mumigwagwa panyaya yatinoona iye yerate. Vari kutaura ivo kuti mitengo yezvinhu yati kwirei nekuti vanhu vanenge vari kuda kuti vakwanise kunge vachizoona kuti vangashandise marate api, nekuti tinoona kuti hurumende yakati iyo vanhu vanofanira kunge vakushandisa mabank rates. Asi tiri panyaya yekuputsirwa kwezvivakwa, takwanisa kubata muzvare Linda Masarira vebato reLead. Vari kutaura ivo maonero avo ezvavari kuti zvatinoona zviri kuitika apo tinoona kuti pane dzimba dziri kuwanikwa dzichipwanywa muguta reHarare nekuchitungusa. Regai tinzwe kuti vari kuti chii.
Panguva ino yatiri hatione chiri chimiro kana chimupikidzo chakanaka chekuti tisaziwane kuti chinoputswa, nekuti tagara mukati meguta reHarare rino mune shortage yeaccommodation, kutoshaikwa pekugara chaipo. Zvakare aya ari kunzi maillegal tax, tikatarisa kuti mabasa chaiwo haasi kuwanika, ndopakutoraramira kuti dzakawanda kuti vagone kunowanawo mari dzemaschool fees nezvakadaro. Ndinoona sekunge zvakakosha kumadzidziso kuti avo vari kuti vari kuisa maillegal tax shop kana kuti havasi kuoparidza zviri pamutemo kuti zvii zvavanofanirwa kugadzirisa kuti vagone kunoramba vachienderera mberi nemabhizinesi avo iwaya. Dzimweni dzenguva hurumende haifanirwa kungoramba yakateedzera mitemo yakaiswa nguva yatanga takapambwa pfuma navarungu patanga tiri mucolonization. Mitemo inofanirwa kusandurwa kuti igone kunochengetedza zvavo zveZimbabwe kuti vagone kunozvigadzirirawo pfuma yavo. Takaramba mitemo yakasiyiwa kana yatakatora kwadhokta kuvarungu hazvisi kupa chimiro zvakanaka zvakare, uye hazvisi kunakidza kuti Zimbabwe iri mukuzvitoka kuzere sekurwiwa kwakaitwa hondo yerusununguko. Dai vakanga vagara pasi vaedza kugadzirisa mitemo iyi iri oppressive, repressive and suppressive.
Apo aiwa tanga tiri kunzwa kubva kuna muzvare Linda Masarira vesangano reLead, vanga vari kutaura ivo mazwi avo pamusoro pekuputswa kwezvivakwa kwatiri kuona zvichiitwa nyanya matakshop kunzvimbo dzakadai sekuchitungwiza nemuHarare. Saka vanga vari kuti dai hurumende yakwanisa kunge ichiwanikwa ichidzokera kuti inonyatsotarisa kuti mitemo yacho iyi iri kutaurwa ndeipi uyezve ingagadziriswe sei, nekuti panguva ino yeCovid-19 nezvimwewo zvakanyanyooma kunyanya zvakaomera madzimai panyaya yekuti vawanikwe ivo vachiputsirwa kwavanotengesera pangeve pari pamatakshop kana pane zvimwewo. Tanzwa zvakare muzvare Diana kufeya vekuchitungwiza Residence Trust vachitaura ivo kuti ichokwadi kunzvimbo iyoyi kwakatowanikwa kuchiputswa zvivakwa zvematakshop vanotengesera nyanya madzimai nevamwewo, uyezve vanhu ava vari kutotarisana nenzara panguva inoyi, uyezve tichitarisa kuti inguva yeCovid-19 zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka. Saka tichange tiri kudzokazve tichizonzwa kuti ivo vekumatare vazoti chii, nekuti taona muzuva ranhasi masangano iwaya vakadai sekanzuru reHarare nechitungwiza vachiendeswa kumatare edzimhosva kuti vawanikwe vachimisa chiitiko ichi chekuramba vachiputsa zvivakwa nyanya matakshop munzvimbo yemuHarare nemuchitungwiza. Aiwa, so this is what's been happening. We heard there Linda Masarira castigating the government, saying that the government should go back to the dressing board to see what laws it is that some of these tax shop owners who are getting their tax shops raised to the ground, especially in Harare and Chitungwiza, and to see how to reform these. So that's what we were hearing there from Linda Masarira of LeAD. Your word there, Star, and we've actually got a minute left, so let's just round up and come to the end of this program.
Yebo-ke siyabonga Marvelous. Lapho-ke besisizwa-ke unkosikazi Linda Masarura la ekhuluma efaka wakhe amazwi-ke ngokubhidliswa kwezakhiwo ze-Harare le-Chitungwiza ukuthi abantu basola bathi kathi yiphi imithetho ephulwayo. Lapho-ke sizikhansili yona bona kuthiwa kwephulwa ama-bylaws. Kule udaba lwakhona nje alucacanga ngoba kuningi okukhulunywa ngakho. Kodwa-ke hayi siyathanda ukubonga abahlonitshwa bethu abasixhasileyo kulolu hlelo. Besilo nkosikazi Barbara Chanyanyiwa, isikhulumeli sebandla le-MDC Alliance kwabesifazana. Njalo sibe lo nkosikazi Deborah Mukasa, yena-ke oyisiphathamandla senhlanganiso yebulawayo Vendors and Traders Association. Besixhasa-ke lapha kuhlelo besichasisela okuningi okuchiyeneyo. Siyathemba ukuthi liza sijoyina njalo kuhlelo lethu ngeviki ezayo ngesikhathi esifanayo ngoLwesine. Mina-ke endivalelisayo yimi uSithandekile Mhlanga ngikhonapha-ke eWashington DC.
Thank you so much to our guest, as what Star was just saying, to also add Linda Masarira, who came in last minute, who also weighed in on the situation of the demolitions in Harare and Chitungwiza. And we'd also like to thank those that are live streaming with us, although you must know that this is a pre-recorded program. So by the time you watch what you're watching, some of the figures we gave you regarding COVID-19 cases may have changed. I'm Marvelous Mhlanga in Washington.